seen your headline on The Daily Show. You see them all over YouTube. I want you to put your hands together. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Give it up for Josh Johnson.
It does feel like this Epstein thing is going to go on forever. Because, okay. The Dems released, I think it's like some sort of committee, they released these images that were subpoenaed from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. Jeffrey Epstein's estate turned over to this committee like 95,000 images, like pictures, everything like that. And then they released to the public 19. Which seems maybe only one person's working today or something. Like maybe there's like a thumb in most of the shots on the rest of the pictures. This is crazy. 19 out of 95,000. Apparently, I still want that to be like a fake number. Do you know what I mean? I saw 95,000, I was like, somebody hit an extra zero. There's no way. There's no way. And then the 19 pictures are... The thing about the pictures, right, is that on their own, only some of them are like damning and weird and crazy. A lot of them are just pictures of people hanging out. It's just who is hanging out. Do you know what I mean? It's like a picture of Jeffrey Epstein and like Steve Bannon. You know, Steve Bannon back when he was actually like working in the White House and everything, like working for Trump when he wasn't just Steve Bannon. Sometimes you look at somebody. Steve Bannon a tough one, because sometimes you look at somebody and you're like, oof, maybe they gotta be racist. Like, I don't know. If I look like that, I'd probably hate everybody too. I'd probably, look, I'm not condoning racism. I'm just saying, like, look, no one else looks like that. So of course he's gonna hate everybody that doesn't look like that. He gotta look like that. That's hard to live with. That man. Steve Bannon hate everybody. He looked like he would hate everybody. You know, like there's some. I'm not saying that every like racist person is ugly on the outside. I'm just saying that like when you look at him and if somebody told you he was like a deep like a super racist, you'd be like, yeah, I'll let the racists have that one. Like that's not getting in my feelings at all. That is imagine somebody hates you and like really hate like a lot of hate in their heart, and they would love like a sort of dystopian future where you and everybody like you is living a terrible life just because they have so much hate in their heart. And you see them though, like on paper that's very upsetting, but when you see them, let's say you see this person and then you're like, oh. Do you know what I mean? Like Steve Bannon looked like white Thanos. Like he was crazy. When I found out about this dude, I was like, is this dude? I didn't want to assume he was racist, and then he said some kind of racist. I was like, yeah, there it is. Because the thing about when you're racist, it's like people have to feel less bad about not wanting to be around you anyway. And I will say this: look, this is just me. I'm not telling anybody else how to feel. This is just me. Even if Steve Bannon was not racist at all, I would still be like, ugh. And that's on me. That is on me. That is me. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you judge a book by its cover and you're right because the book is, like, made of skin. Like, remember the book from Hocus Pocus? Steve Bannon made of the same leather binding as the... Why he always look wet? This man... You know what I mean? He looked like if Sweat woke up and started walking and talking and being racist. Like, it's just... Man. You look at Steve Bannon and you're like, no wonder the Klan wore sheets. Like, there's people that you see sometimes and you're just like, woof, wooga, booga, ooga. And Steve, I said all that to say Steve Bannon is in pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. It's like, that's also not good. Because it's not like you could convince anyone you were anyone else. Do you know what I mean? There are people in the Trump administration that look like other people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Sean Duffy to me looks like every coach I've ever seen. Every like youth sports coach, I'm just like, yeah, maybe. If you told me he was like Secretary of Transportation or like the head coach of the youth volleyball league, I'd be like, both of those track for me. So if Sean Duffy was in a picture, you'd be like, is that Sean Duffy? Because that could be somebody else. But nobody else looked like Steve Bannon. So as soon as I saw Steve Bannon, I was like, oh, Steve Bannon. Jeffrey Epstein let Steve Bannon get real close to him. I mean, I knew he was a freak. I didn't know, wow. Oh, man. And then you see like Jeffrey Epstein with plenty of other people. You see pictures from the island and stuff like that. You see Jeffrey Epstein in pictures with Woody Allen. This is very weird. It's not weird as if I saw that picture. It's like, not Woody. I'm saying. I'm saying it's weird in that you see Woody Allen by himself, and maybe you're already like, ugh. And then you see how people fight it. We know everything with Woody Allen. We don't even need a rehash. We know. And then you see this, and you're like, I know it. Seeing Woody Allen with Jeffrey Epstein would be like. It would be like if OJ's glove slipped on perfectly. It'd be like, oh, yeah. Woody Allen. I forget about Woody Allen all the time. And then something reminds me of Woody Allen, and it never doesn't remind me what Woody Allen is like. Do you know what I mean? There's never, I don't know, maybe I don't watch enough movies, but I've never been like, a new Woody Allen. Like, no, the thing with the daughter, and it's top of mind. You know? Woody Allen. what would they have to talk about? Like, and then there's a picture of, I think it was like Bill Clinton and Ghislaine Maxwell together, like a group picture and everything. Hillary, not there. Hillary, not the, man. Every time Bill not with Hillary, he get in trouble. You know Hillary must stay mad as hell at home.
Oh, yeah.
See all these people. 19 pictures out of 95,000. That, I don't know why we keep dropping like Epstein content like albums. Like this is... Oof. No, this is bad. I don't even know what to do with this. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, you see a picture of Trump and all the people whose faces they're like blacking out and everything. And you're like, okay, what's that? What is that? That never looks good. That never looks good. If I take a picture with some people and they blacked out everybody's face but mine, there's no smile, there's no demeanor you can have when they blacked out everybody's face but yours and look like innocent. Like there's no way that it's not happening. If I take a picture with people and they black out everybody's face but mine, either I did something or they did something. You know what I mean? There's no, like, even if you look happy, blacked out everybody's face but then you. Blacked out everybody's face and then you. There's no scenario where you don't look like you did something. They blacked out everybody's face but yours. It's not good at all. And then you see these weird inside jokes they had and everything. It's weird stuff. It's upsetting, weird, and it's crazy to me. It is so insane to me that out of this multi-billionaire cabal of predators, that somehow amongst all of them, because you're talking about like what would normally be serious conspiracy level stuff, like would be on TV type of, these people, every single one of them, so far as we've seen, right? All of us, whether you've only like delved in it a little bit and you've just seen what was on TV reported on the news, or whether you dug deep yourself and you've researched a bunch of all the people involved and everything, it is insane that out of all of these people, billionaires the world over, right, having ties to each other that are just through Epstein, don't make any sense, that somehow all of these people, every single one of them does not know how to draw anything. Like they cannot draw at all. It's terrifying how like the drawings they do aren't even motor skills. Like this is, I don't know what I'm looking at half the time. Like even that thing that Trump supposedly drew, but then they're like, we have proof he drew, but I don't even know. I don't even know. I really don't know. I assume he drew it, but I don't know if they finally like said, because he said he didn't draw it. But then when you see the drawing, you're like, he drew it. That looked like, it looked like something he would draw, because it's like the way it doesn't look like a person. It's like, I would like to think that not only did Donald Trump draw that, but that is how he sees people. Like it would make more sense for the country if Donald Trump only saw things in cartoons. That would be pretty good. If you went inside his head and it was like, oh, everything looked like Dilbert. This is crazy. Because doesn't he seem like an Adventure Time type president? Like, just like, him looking around, people are like, this is serious. And he's like, I don't know. He looked like a dragon. I mean, it's like, sir, that's Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, multiple pictures with Jeffrey Epstein hanging out. Man, what could they have to talk about? Yeah, I mean, what, like, ugh. Do you ever wonder if Steve Bannon tried? If he tried to, like, I gotta do something, I gotta clean myself up. Let me do like a chemical peel or something. Like, let me do something. I don't know if you just look like that off the rip. Like, I think something happened. There's gotta be an origin story at play. You can't just, I mean? Like, I feel like Steve Bannon got the same background as Splinter from Ninja Turtles. Like, probably, like, it would make sense if Steve Bannon was like living in a sewer and then he came across these turtles, right? And these turtles, he started taking care of the turtles. He thought about eating them, but then he was like, nah, I'll take care of them, everything. And then there's like this toxic waste that they were all exposed to, and he put the turtles in it because he was like, I lived. And so then the turtles got like a special, physical intelligence for martial arts, and he went off and joined the White House staff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He just doesn't look like I've seen Steve Bannon say like dog whistle racist things and been like, bro, you don't need the dog whistle. Like, this one's all you. Like, this. Steve Bannon is what you imagine when you imagine like a deeply, racist person. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you look at it and you're like, oh. I would rather it be that way. No, it's just convenient that his entire shape aligns with his views. Like, it's just... If you really have never seen Steve Bannon, he looked like, a Sphinx? He looked like... He looked like the head of a frog and the body of a wildebeest and the legs of a chicken and the hands of like a mole rat. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know, Steve Bannon just seemed like he bite ice cream. You know those people? You know those people who can't even enjoy a treat without being a psycho? You know what I'm talking about? Like, Steve Bannon looked like he bite an ice cream cone in the face. Like, he just attack it. He lets it drip down his hand and goes, I'll save some of this for later. It is crazy how you will be doing your best to get your life together as best as you can. And it is unfair that anybody can make you their emergency contact. Like, I can't even get into a hotel room I paid for without my ID, but you could just write my name and number down. And now all of a sudden, I'm who they call if you get busted up. Like, this is a crazy system we've created. What if your emergency contact don't like you? We didn't think this through at all. This is I mean, it's indicative of a less than stellar healthcare system, but your emergency contact should be somebody that you trust, should be somebody responsible. It should be somebody who knows their emergency contact. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta make somebody your emergency contact the way you make somebody a godparent. They need to know. Because you could do that too. You could also just make somebody you know a godparent and not tell them. And then people will hit them up and be like, hey, so they said if anything ever happened to them, you have a kid now. And when you say what, they're like, they said you'd say that. What? In what world? I was made the emergency contact for a friend one time, and I was like, I don't know what he expects me to do with this. Like, they called me and they were like, hey, you're his emergency contact. I'm like, all right, what was the emergency? And he skateboarded off a roof. No, I had the same reaction. Not only did I have the same reaction, he looked at me crazy like, I thought I could land it. No, my mistake. I forgot. The world is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 9. That was crazy though. I thought I could land it. And so I made them call you on a Saturday. That's the other thing too. You can make your emergency contact somebody so that the person who should really be your emergency contact doesn't find out. You know what I mean? Made me the emergency contact because he knew if he made his parents the emergency contact, he'd hear an earful about skateboarding off a roof. But the crazy thing about making me the emergency contact versus his parents is that his parents still live in the state he's in. I moved away years ago. This is just... I don't even drive. What do you expect me to do for you? Do you know what I mean? Like, you would be better off just telling me to put you on the prayer list or something. Because even the person that called me, even like the receptionist that called me, I was like, so am I supposed to do something? And they were like, no, not really. We're sort of letting you know. I was like, wait. So you called me. He's alive, right? Like, he's alive? And like, yeah, I mean, probably gonna be discharged in a couple days. I was like, oh, okay. Is it like, is anything broken? I'm like, yeah, his leg. I was like, oh, okay, so not his hands or his mouth. But he still made you call me even though he has my number. And then this was insane. I'm on the phone with this person at the hospital, right? I said what I just said. I said what I said to her, what I just said to you. And then she went, oh, yeah. No. You work at the hospital. I cannot be blowing your mind right now. That is terrible. It's so frustrating too. You know, he got a big bill for it. He got a big bill for breaking his leg, skateboarding off the roof. And it's not like they charge you extra for it being stupid. They charge you what they charge you based on, you know, insurance, network, deductible, all this stuff like that. It would, I think by now that I'm an adult and I like know what any healthcare thing is, right? Because when I was a kid, I would just go to the doctors. My mom took me to the doctor because she was like, I don't know, right? Like if I got hurt or felt sick around my grandma, there was usually something. There was usually like a remedy something passed down. I remember one time I had a wild lump in my throat, like to the point where I was like, I wasn't necessarily having a lot of trouble swallowing. It was just very present. It was making me deeply uncomfortable. And then she was like, oh, okay, I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital because I'm like, I've never even heard of this. And then she's like, oh, tell me what's wrong. I told her. And then she was like, okay. She goes to the kitchen, comes back, and she puts like a couple dashes of salt on a spoon. She was like, open your mouth. And then she put the spoon right under, you know the thing. And so she put it on there, and I was like, And then, sure enough, it just went away. It just went away. No charge. It's gone. It's crazy, Meanwhile, you go to the doctor, and you ask the doctor what's wrong. And the doctor's like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know you. We just met and you just told me what's wrong. Why would I know? Do you think I'm magic? Why would I know what was wrong? I have no idea what's wrong. I'll run some tests so I can find out, which is logical. That does make sense. That does sound like science. I don't know, so let's run some tests so we can find out. All right, we're all human. We can't all just guess and be right. How much will the test cost? I don't know. Why would I know that? It's a test, and it's a test for you, which is gonna cost different from everybody else. Don't you know that? You idiot. Don't you know that the test costs whatever we say it costs after it's been done, so that way you can't really make a decision on whether or not you can afford it? We're just gonna tell you later, Like, I don't know, a hospital charged you the way a loan shark lends you money. It's like, because you get the bill and you're like, all right, I was there. So I remember you barely helping. Meanwhile, everybody that wants to do good, like some of the most good you can do as a medical professional is really lean in and quietly tell somebody hey, look, this is gonna be insane. Just so you know, this is gonna be, this is too much. I love when I get a nurse or a doctor and I ask them well, what about this? Would you do this? And they're like, no. That's real good, Because I genuinely feel like nurses especially don't get the pay, the recognition, any of the care that they deserve, because if there's gonna be someone that saves you $20,000, it will be a nurse. It'll be a nurse that's just take some ibuprofen. Or sometimes you end up in a bad situation because you get charged this insane amount in this incredibly frustrating way, whether you got good care or not. That's devastating. Imagine you have to pay all this money, still don't even know what's wrong. It's crazy. Because then I've been in situations where I was at the doctor and I was like, this is bad. I can tell this is bad. And not bad as in my health, bad as in I don't think he a good doctor. And I'm not saying this is a medical profession. I'm saying some of it's presentation. If you're a doctor if you're a doctor, I don't want to hear really think about what you're gonna say before you say it, and don't hit me with the uhs and ums when you're telling me something, because I'm asking you, I don't know. I don't know. So if you're like, it might be inflammation, it could be stress, it's like, okay, we're just guessing in a room together. If we just guessing in a room together, then I can go ahead and go, because I'm gonna get charged like you said what it was. No, it's crazy. It does not have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this at all. And you know, because you go to any other country and it's different. I'm not even saying it's always better, but it's different. They're like, oh yeah, we do it a different way where you don't die. You know what I mean? We do it this different way where, like, yeah, technically our healthcare is expensive because you have been, taxed to the point where it's already all in the social safety net, and the safety net catches you. Is the whole point of the net. And then when you come here, you don't have to worry about an arm or a leg in payment when we don't know, because we won't know. We won't know here either. Do you know what I mean? You go to the doctor in France, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that some of these places with universal healthcare don't have incredibly long lines or don't have their own like system failings, but I'm just saying a start is a start, you know? And sometimes you go to these places and you'll be like, oh, okay, the line is what y'all are complaining about. The line? All right. The line. Because we have a line. We also sit in the line for long to not know. That's one of my favorites, is like how ambulances can be out of network. That's you can tell the devil came up with that. That's the. And look, I'm not saying I know everything about this. I'm just saying this is my understanding. I hope I'm wrong. I love being wrong. It's usually a better world when I'm wrong. I love being wrong, but from what I understand, there are like ambulances that are not covered that will then take you to hospitals that are out of network, which just makes the whole thing more expensive. It becomes like a $9,000 Uber ride to the hospital. And I don't know, I feel like it's tough. It's tough because it's like, how are you gonna tell them? Like, let's say you hurt yourself. Let's say you get hurt and maybe you're even like knocked out or something. So then somebody calls an ambulance. It's scary. You don't want just to witness somebody dying right in front of you. So you call an ambulance. The ambulance comes and picks this person up, takes them to the closest hospital and everything. And you were unconscious. So you couldn't tell them, I'm not getting in the ambulance. I'll walk. I will walk and die before I get in there. Because then every time the wheel turns, that's like $200. And then you got the nerve to try parallel park at the hospital. Get some extra turns in, no. But you couldn't do that. You couldn't protest that you didn't want to get in this ambulance, that you didn't want to go to this hospital, it's out of network. Maybe you even knew that, right? And you couldn't stop it from happening because you were knocked out because you skateboarded off a roof like an idiot. And then you're laying in the hospital bed, leg broke, you broke. And then this person calls your emergency contact. Who didn't know? Who didn't know? And then they pick up, thinking it's a scam call, so they were admittedly a little rude when they picked up the phone. Because I do not like when people call me and ask me if it's me. You called me. You called me to ask if it's me. I know I'm me. If you don't know if I'm me, don't call me. If you don't know, you called me to be like, is this Josh? It's like, is that a trick? What is this? The only people that have this number are the people that know me. So if you don't know me and you have this number, maybe don't call. But if you do think it's me, you would just say, hey Josh, right? You would say it with confidence. You wouldn't act like you found this number written on a bathroom stall. Hey, is this Josh? Are you out of your mind? Is this Josh? That's what I love in my day. I love to spend my day telling people it's me when they think it's me and they've called me. The only way to have an interaction that's more aggravating is if someone was holding your ID and reading it and looking at you and go, is this you? It couldn't be more me. You're talking to me asking if I'm me. And so then I don't say anything because I can't tell if you're a robocall or not. Because you get those now too. You will get a robocall. You'll get a robocall and it'll sound not AI for the first like 3 seconds. Because anybody can say hello and sound convincing. Some people say it weird. Some people do. Like people who are not AI will be like, hello? I can't tell if that was a computer or I can't you know what I mean? It's like how you never know if the first sentence of a poem is good or bad. Like it's like, we need a little more to decide. You get that first hello. You get like a hello. You get so many different hellos and you're like, all right, this could clearly be a machine. You're not gonna get me. Yep. And I don't know this number. I don't know this number, and you called me, I pick up, and look, maybe it's wrong. I'm sure it wastes time, but when you call me and I don't know your number, I do give it like 10 seconds of just silence. I wait for you to speak. I wait for you. This might be insane. I don't know if I'm crazy, but like, I wait for you to speak. I don't know you, and then I'm pretty sure your voice triggers the robocall. You know what I mean? So when you're like, hello, they're like, oh, a person? Oh, we got you now. This number works. So then I'm like, I pick up and I'm like,
Talk to me. I ain't talking first. I don't know you.
and then I hear, hello? And I'm like, all right, you're not out of the woods yet. What's that second hello sound like? Because if the second hello sounds eerily similar to the first hello, you're an AI. You're not, no. No one says hello exactly the same pitch for pitch every single time. Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Is someone there? You know what I mean? And then this is what I'll do. This is also, this admittedly doesn't make sense. I'll tell you this right now. This does not make sense. This is why I should never be your emergency contact. Because even after the second hello or is someone there, all I'll give you is a cough. I'm coughing right into the phone. Because a person will be like, okay, that's a person, and maybe they're getting situated. Maybe they answered it in their pocket and they're trying to like get it to their head or something. But a robot doesn't know. Hello, is someone there? Is someone there? Is someone there? You know what I mean? And then you can just hang up, right? But hello? Hello? Okay, 2 different hellos. That sounds promising. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Can you hear me? You all right? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Are you okay? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm good. Hi, how's it going? Good. How are you? I'm good. Is this Joshua? I know you don't know me, but you're already trying my patience. Who is this? Because tell me who you are. Don't ask me who I am. This is my phone and I'm already in it. Like, I'm already in my phone. You're a visitor in my phone asking if... Imagine somebody came into your house. They walked inside and they were like, are you? You'd be like, I have to shoot you now. I have to, like... Tell me who you are. If you broke into my phone, tell me who you are. Is this Josh? Yeah. It's Josh. Oh, okay. We're calling from blah blah medical, and you were listed as the emergency contact for your friend. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because I didn't know that I was his emergency contact. That's wild. You can just do that to anybody that you want. It's crazy. You can make someone your emergency contact while owing them $200. And that's wild. That's wild. Because when I need to emergency contact him for my money, there's no answer. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, when I have an emergency of funds from the funds I don't have from the $200 I lent him, somehow, wow, can't get a hold of him. Line isn't working. But when what did he do? He skateboard for a roof. Huh, okay. Probably bought that skateboard with the $200. Do I need to do anything here? Is there anything I'm supposed to do? Like, am I getting charged for this call or anything? They're like, no, you don't have to do anything. I'm like, okay, good. I won't be doing anything. Because I just want you to know something about your patient, that he is a coward, all right? Because he has my number, but he knows that if he calls me, I'll ask him why the last text message I sent him about the $200 was left on red. And so he had you call me, like I would forget. Why don't you call his parents? They live in the state. They could come pick him up or anything. And then I don't know what's like protocol or anything. I feel like because I do my best in real time to have like a real interaction with a person, like people are so used to pleasantries on the phone, especially like in a professional setting, like nurses, doctors, everything like that. I think that because of my general demeanor, or maybe the fact that I seem like I could hang up at any moment, or maybe she was as sick of my friend as I am. I don't even think she was supposed to tell me this, but she was like, oh yeah, because I asked, well, why don't you call his parents? I can give you their number. They're not even my emergency contact, and I can give you their number. They would be more interested in this whole ordeal. You know what I mean? And then she tells me, she's like, no, they're here. It was their roof that he skateboarded off of. They're here. They're here as in there. They're here as in there where you are in that building. They might be behind you. Why do you... Like, oh, well, it's a protocol we followed. They just got here. So we called you. To be fair to her, we had been on the phone for a while now. So like there was time for his parents to get there. It's like, you can just do that. You can just make somebody your emergency contact, not even tell them. That's crazy. That's wild, Lisa. She's like, huh, yeah. I was like, all right. It's a weird conversation to try to end, too. Because then I'm sitting there like, does he need $200 more? Like, why would he? His parents are there now, and I don't live there. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the information that his leg is broken. And then she was like, yeah, I don't know either. And I told her, I was like, I hope you have a good day. Like, you deserve a good day. You have to call and let people know they're the emergency contacts of people that they don't even know what's happening. And she's like, yeah, thank you. And then we got off the phone and I just sat there. I genuinely just sat there for a second. I just was on the phone with this person for a while. And it occurred to me, like I'm sitting there, now I know not only am I like my friend's emergency contact, because through everything, that does say something. It says something about like how he sees me or something like that. And sometimes you have a friend that you don't really know where you stand with for a given reason, and then something like that happens and you're like, oh, maybe we're closer than I thought. Like, even though I moved away, he was like, I want this person to know if something happens to me, which did touch me. Like, and I'm being completely serious. It was like genuinely that did like move, because we hadn't spoken in a little while. It wasn't even like a falling out or anything like that, but we just hadn't talked in me moving and everything. And I was just sitting there thinking about how he made me the emergency contact instead of his parents and everything. And I was also sitting there, just eventually I was like, it was $300 that
Please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
I feel very thankful to be here with all of you, because it's nice to talk to people who are gonna get it in a way. I feel like sometimes when I'm traveling and I go to places where, especially when I go overseas, and there are places that are not as engaged or involved with American politics, that there's a sentiment of like, we're just watching the show and y'all are like cast in the show, and so that it's very different to have a chat with you. Because I'll be very honest with you, it's been taking me a long time to distill the way I feel about what is happening in LA. Because what's happening in LA over the past couple weeks is it's insane to watch, because I have plenty of friends in LA and I talk to them daily and everything. And I also watch the news. And not maybe since COVID have I seen such distant realities. Do you know what I mean? Like such like completely opposite ends of the spectrum, what is happening and what is said about what's happening. And okay, because if you're watching the news, everyone in LA is dead. They've been dead for a while. The military came, but they were too late. Everyone is, in fact, I think the military dead too. Like, it's really just a black hole of death that no one can stop, but somehow the reporters are reporting. And it is strange, because when they send the reporter out to cover what some people are even calling the riots in LA, the reporter, not every single one of them, I'll get to them, but the reporter is standing there while everybody else is standing there. And they're giving a very different report than what we can see behind them. A lot of people don't know this about me, but from the time that I was a child, because I grew up in Louisiana, my family and all the families around me were all affected by Hurricane Katrina. So I have very, very strong feelings about protecting journalists, protecting reporters, and not putting them out there with the weather. Because we see it. We see the weather, and I believe you every time. Whenever you say it's a hurricane, and I look outside, I'm like, that look hurricane-like. I don't then need you to send our local newscaster to hold on to a telephone pole while he tells us how bad it is. The way that these people will almost be horizontal reporting on the wind speed. It's like, we don't need them as a visual test of what is happening right now. Everyone watching is inside. There's no one watching from outside like, yeah, seems like I should probably move from where I am now. No, I hate that. I hate when it's like weather is one of those things where I'm like, I don't know what the spin could be. Like to a certain degree, I understand when a journalist, when a newscaster feels the need to go. What this shows right now is how many of y'all don't put your phone on silent. Like, there's no... No, I know it is. I know it is. That's crazy. Well, then I will be quick then. Yeah. Okay, real quick. Just for a quick second. What flash flood? Oh no, the parade. Y'all. Don't do that. It's his birthday. It's not my birthday. But a great example, like a flash flood, and they'll put the newscaster in the water, and it's like, well, what we can see here, John, is... It's another level of insane, because when it comes to the news and the weather, I don't know what the spin could be. There's a storm outside. No, it's not. Whether, as long as you're not talking about specifically climate change, is like the last bipartisan subject. It's like the last thing. There's no way that anyone hates, conservatives or liberals enough to see the rain and be like, but it's not. Like, that just doesn't happen. It's one of the last tethers to reality, and we make those newscasters go in it. These poor newscasters in Arizona look like they about to pass out. Half the reports they do talking about the heat. They got them over there, no shade. You can tell the budget of a newsroom by how they send the journalists out there, because sometimes they'll be out there and be like, blistering heat today in downtown Phoenix, temperatures reaching 111 degrees. Like, stop doing it, If it's hot, we can feel it, and when you tell us, we'll believe you, If it's a hurricane, this is one of the things that I have tried my best to be fair with, because you see people, and I really feel like this only happens here. There's no other country I know of where people proudly go out into the hurricane and like tap dance in the hurricane to show the rain that they're not scared. That's a distinctly American male thing to do, to be like, hey, ain't nobody scared of some water? Come and get me, and they're never seen again. I'm just saying, you don't really see that anywhere else. And I used to think that those were like the dumbest people in the world. But then as I got older, I was like, you know what? Maybe they just watched the news. And they were like, he's standing out there. And he telling me not to go outside. It's too dangerous, but he outside. What, he think I'm a punk? If he can be outside, I'll be outside. I'll be outside all I want. And then they go outside and then they're never seen again. But the thing with people covering LA and standing in front of whether it's LAPD or National Guard lined up and protesters a distance away lined up, it's a very different thing, because now they're coloring it for you, but you can see behind them. And it's hard to know what to make of it. Because when I talk to my friends in LA, they're like, very chill. They're always chill, but like they're very chill in this specific instance. I called some of my friends because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not better than anybody. I fell for some of the propaganda that was going on. I called some of my friends immediately because I don't know LA neighborhoods that well. And I live in New York, where if something is happening, it is happening to everyone. Thoroughly happening to everyone right now. And so... Okay, I'm digressing for a second, but just as an example, one time there was all I can describe it as is like a tiny tornado of trash. It literally was not taller than this mic stand, but it was spinning because it was a windy day out and the trash wanted to be together, I guess. And so the trash spinning. And it's like, I don't know, I grew up deep south and everything, so whenever I see one of those, I'm like, ooh, that's a bad spirit. Like, that's I get real superstitious real quick. If you a tiny tornado, if you an eye-level tornado, I don't come near you, all right? That's a bad spirit. You got Dorito bags in you and everything. You got all types of disgusting stuff. No, I might get possessed. And so I was keeping my distance, but there were other people walking down the street. I actually crossed the street because I saw it up ahead. I was like, nah, I don't need those problems. Like, I like having my whole body, mind, and soul. I don't want some of it to be like Derek from 81st. You know what I mean? Like, that feel like who would possess you? Just somebody who never had a job and burps as loud as possible. And so I crossed the street, but there were other people that were walking next to me that kept going, and they walked right into it. And even though I was across the street, I knew when they walked into it because my back was turned, and I still heard. I'm like, not walking into a Thai tornado with your mouth open. That's just irresponsible. And sure enough, that Thai tornado got like 8 people. Just being itself. Oh, if something happens in New York, it's happening to everybody. If one train is down, the city stops. We get around it, you know. People get mad, they get off the train, they run to work, they hop on a bike or whatever, they take a cab. But like, one thing happens, it has a ripple effect. LA doesn't seem like that to me. Like I've been in different parts of LA, and I thought all of it was like one thing. I couldn't have been more wrong. And so I was calling my friends, I was freaking out because I was seeing the stuff that was happening. Waymos, you know the driverless car that shouldn't exist? You know that thing that's just on the road and we all act like it's normal, but we're slowly acting out the plot of iRobot currently? You know that thing? Those were on fire. There were Waymos on fire. So I called my friends like, you not in a Waymo, are you? Oh, if you in a Waymo, get out right now. Because to be fair, we didn't really even know why the Waymos were on fire. Maybe there were people setting the Waymos on fire, but maybe the Waymos saw all the unrest and they were like, this is our time. One time I was with my friend in San Francisco, and a Waymo passed by, and he was admittedly very high. But he doesn't trust Waymos because the first time he ever took a Waymo was by accident, because he lost his wallet, his phone, like he got all his stuff stolen, right? And so he asked a friend to get him a ride home, okay? So he gets the friend to get him a ride home. He doesn't know that friend used the app Waymo instead of like Uber or whatever. So then he's high in the story too. He's actually high all the time, but he gets into the car and he's like, a little fade, a little drunk, a little high. And then he gets in the car and then the car takes off. And so the way he told the story, I wasn't there. The way he told the story is finally he asked, for a little music. He's like, dang, it's quiet in here, dog. Can you turn something on? And he half nodding off anyway, but he's like, can you turn something on? It's quiet in here, dog. Like, let's get it popping, Can I get some? It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you like, dog. Anything. Yo, I know you hear me talking to you. And then he said he leaned forward. This is how he tells the story. He leaned forward and saw nobody was in there, and then he started praying. Because he was like, no, you know what? You know what? You know what, Lord? You know I haven't been right. And if you see me through this, I swear I'm going to change my ways. If you see me through this right now, if you deliver me through, I'm going to leave the alcohol alone. I'm going to leave the weed. He gets home, he sees his house, he's like, thank you, Lord, thank you. And obviously he was lying because he was high when he was next to me. But a Waymo passed by and he was like, that thing right there, nobody gonna believe me when I tell you, but that thing right there, I don't trust those things, all right? Let me tell you something right now. That thing over there, all AI, all self-driving, intelligence stuff, don't trust that thing. Believe me, that's a transformer. Look, all I'm saying, if I wanted to act out the plot of one of the Transformer movies, what would I do? I'd come down to earth as a bunch of driverless cars, keep it easy for a little while, and then one day, boom, 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 boom. Don't get in there. Don't get in one of them. You're going to end up in its chest. I'm telling you right now. And so I called so many of my friends. I was like, hey, are you okay? Are you good? And they were like, yeah, no, I'm fine. And they said they were fine with the annoyance of like, they said that they were fine with the annoyance that I have when my mom calls me to ask me if I'm okay. She saw that there was a storm in New York, and I'm like, no, it was just a bunch of trash spinning in a circle. It's not that serious. You worry too much. No, they were genuinely like, no, that's actually here. And they started explaining LA neighborhoods to me, and I'm not gonna lie, I glazed over. Like I just... But once I knew that they were safe and that everyone I knew was safe, I was like, well, then where is this happening? I know a lot of people in LA. I've called a lot of people. Everybody is fine. Where is this happening? It turns out it's all happening over like, I think 2 square blocks. I don't even know. It's like, it's such a small area. It might as well be a movie set. And it's crazy because if you listen to, Fox News, some of these outlets, you would think that the entire city was burning right now. There are people sharing stories on Facebook, and the entire place is devastated. And the president said, if I didn't send the National Guard, they'd be in shambles right now. But then when you look at video, and I'm not talking about video from protesters, I'm not talking about video of bystanders of the protest. I'm talking about video of people in Los Angeles 2 blocks away from the protest. There are people literally blowing bubbles. And there is no opposite to your city being on fire than bubbles. Bubbles are like a truly first world problem. Like, and they weren't even blowing bubbles regular. They were over here like, once you do it with your foot in the air, that's too much whimsy for your city to be on fire. Not blowing bubbles like, blah, blah, blah. Look at that. That's so cool. I'm talking about, And it is difficult when it's presented in front of you so heavily, an agenda with reporting versus just saying what happened. I didn't even know you could do that, by the way. It wasn't until I left the country and watched the news in other countries that you can just say what happened. Like when you watch the news in Spain, they don't even put a spin on it. They're just like, yeah, right there. They don't even try. This is what's crazy, is that the news around the world, they don't even try to be entertaining. They give it to you so straight, they don't even have good voices half the time. Sometimes there's a guy being like, yes, 2 people were found in the basement, and they said that they were trapped there by the man who lived there. Very dry, nothing. They're not putting on 2 people found dead. Like it's... That's my favorite, by the way. I love when an anchor is like going out of a fun story to a sad story, but either they didn't get the stack of reports ahead of time, or they're just reading the prompter in real time, so they don't know that they need to do the tone shift. And so they just finished like promoting a shelter that has saved like 67 puppies or something. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that sweet? I mean, you just love to see stuff like that, don't you? Anyway, 15 burned to death in a fire. Oh. And then you see in their eyes that they're like, I already started high. I started up here if I drop it. And sometimes they try to drop it. They're like, found dead this morning. Don't act like you weren't talking the whole time. That was you the whole time. But you even see it. in LA, because the misconception people have is that the thing that initially happened in LA versus like protesters and ICE and everything was like all over LA, was just all happening at one time. When actually it's around these very few square blocks. That's where all of it's like going down. You know, I'm not saying there weren't protests in other places, but those protests went on without incident. It's here. This is like the main sticking point. And this is what they keep shooting footage of over and over and over again and showing you over and over and over again from different angles, right? And they're so thirsty for it that there was one dude that had a Mexican flag, was on a smashed up car, and you can see when you look at the picture that there are like 15 cameras surrounding the car looking up at him, and then everyone protesting is like a block down with nobody there. You know, because they're selling you a story. They're selling you a story about chaos that's unfolding and everything. And they even, you know, will have the newscaster out there. This journalist is out there. And I have a lot of respect for journalists. They do an incredibly difficult job, and they have to do it under constraints that some of us can't understand. Because if you worked your entire life to try to get to the truth, and then you finally get a job, maybe it's not even a well-paying job, and you're allowed to tell the truth until like your newspaper gets bought. And then it gets bought by a guy that's like, the truth though. I mean, what is truth really? Just say whatever I tell you to say. But it is a difficult thing to distill for yourself, because you have to. You can't just, I'm not saying that there was ever some golden age where all of media was honest and forthright. I'm just saying that it used to be a little bit more simple. That you were even overdoing it if you checked, you know, 3 sources to see if something was true. Because there are things that used to be delivered with a little bit less. You still had the bias of the outlet, but it was a little less political at all times, and there was a little less looking for the bleed. Here's what happened, and I said it in a sexy voice. That used to be American news. You know? And now we've slowly become this more and more and more like corporate warped version of trying to do the news. News became entertainment. It became a show. And you know there's a show, you know it's entertainment, because they're not delivering you the news out of the kindness of their hearts. I'm not saying that the journalists that are doing the news aren't dedicated. I'm saying that the body, the system and the machine that we look to for reporting is just, they're trying to sell razors in between every disaster. Like, that should tell you something, you know? Because you see the report, and you see people, chaos in the streets in LA. Look at everything that's happening. And then you like talk to someone who's in LA, or you even just look at an Instagram story that your friend made on a random day who's not that far from the protest. And you're like, I don't know, they are loading up their car with Trader Joe's. Like, that doesn't feel apocalyptic at all. Like, if you can get the sliced mango from Trader Joe's, I think the supply chain is intact. That's one of the first things to go. We don't even have mangoes like that. Oh, news says absolute chaos. And then you look at somebody's, just like legit, somebody's like TikTok that they're making. Not even about the protest, just that they're making. And you know they live in LA. And while they're making this protest, while supposedly the city is on fire, they're finding parking. That's not supposed to happen ever. And one thing that can't be lost on us when we think about or talk about Donald Trump is the only thing that he's ever been successful in is reality TV. We don't know him from the steaks. We don't know him from the casinos. We don't know him from the vodka or the water, which was probably vodka. We don't know him from anything except truly reality TV. Even in real estate, it's like, okay, it's like a name, but I don't know anyone who ever lived on one of those properties. You know, it's the TV. He figured it out. He figured out reality TV, and he's still doing reality TV. He's just doing it as the president. The mix of reality and TV is a different cocktail for every show. You know, there are shows that are 10% reality and 90% TV, where if you took away the TV element, none of these things would happen. These people wouldn't know each other. And then there's some that are 50-50. Like, I feel like Love Island is 50-50. You know what I mean? Love Island to me is, because look, even if there was no show, these are the people who would be hooking up with these people. Like, this is every time you watch a cast introduced of Love Island, you're like, that seems right. Like, that's who everyone goes for that's in that group anyway. They all seem happy. There's never like a guy in Love Island that's like, so ladies. Just floating like an NPC. Like, it's always somebody with like 9 abs. And you're like, how do you get the extra? When he's standing up, when he's sitting down, it's very defined. You know, it's shows that are even mostly reality with a little hint of TV, just a little bit of producing to make sure it's polished enough for the people so that they can consume it and not be thinking about how they're on like a 5th episode of it, you know? And that's where Trump comes from. He comes from reality TV. It's the only thing that he's ever been really, really good at making. And that's what he's doing right now, reality TV instead of governing. Because if he were governing and he really wanted to be smart about it, this dude would do what he does best. He'd just lie. Think about this. This man lies about everything. And this immigration thing is the only thing he's like actually trying to do. It's very weird. Like, I just, it's a long walk, but stick with me for a second. As presidents go, most deportations have been going down. They were, I think, at least in recent memory, they were the last highest under Obama, but Obama did them all through the courts and everything. It wasn't just like a rounding up type of thing. And so then Biden had less, Trump even had less in his first term than Obama. And then now, Trump, right now, even with the show, has less than he had the first time. And it's weird to me because in the campaign, we were promised that there were millions. There were millions of illegal immigrant criminals. They were behind you. Have you checked your pants? They're in there too. They're under your bed. They're everywhere. You can't throw a constitution without hitting an illegal criminal alien. We were told that there were millions of them in the country. Yet somehow, when ICE really starts ramping up, because we're really doing this thing, it takes like a week before they were like, have you tried a school? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I can't find any. That's crazy. We got a couple that first week, but yeah, I guess there were only like 3,500 or whatever. I guess we're just gonna have to start going everywhere, and that's what they did. That's why it is the way it is, because ICE is over here trying to do these deportations, trying to grab people and everything, but I thought there were millions of illegal criminal aliens. Why are you finding them all at work? Like, I just had no idea that my local taco spot was specifically MS-13 tacos. I had no idea that Tra de la Ringa, the gang I can't pronounce, I had no idea that that's who was like folding the clothes at Kohl's. Like, that's, because that's what you've been led to believe. Every arrest is warranted. ICE is trying to do their job. All of this mandated makes sense. That's what you've been told. And the thing is, you need to make a show out of it, because even with all the chaos, even with all the footage, it's still less. That's crazy. Even with you going around the court, it's less. That's wild that it's still less, even with all this show going on. Because what isn't a show, what's actually reality, is that people are being ripped away from their families. And these are hardworking people. These are people that have been here for a long time. These are a lot of people who are actually trying to do the right thing as hard as they possibly can. But the system is slow and it's imperfect. And then they get arrested by ICE at the courthouse for their hearing. And all of this when Trump could have just lied. He could have just been like, yeah, I did it. Who would say he didn't? All of his fans would be like, he did it. He said he was going to do it, and he did. I don't even know when he did. That was so fast. Damn. Even Democrats would be like, yay, you did it. At least. The one time he doesn't lie. And so you have this ICE operation happening on these square blocks, these protesters clashing with ICE. ICE doesn't feel safe. They don't feel like they can make movements and everything. And so then, the LAPD comes, and maybe the LAPD was there the entire time, I don't know, but the LAPD is there, and Trump sends in the National Guard. Now, he can't send in the National Guard just to arrest people and crack skulls and everything like that. So what he does, he tries to get around it by deploying the National Guard just to protect these two buildings. But then they're there in case ICE feels like they need their help detaining someone or that they aren't able to carry out their operations, right? So dangerous precedent, but whatever. So then Trump wants to send in the National Guard, which everybody, not every single person, but most people were upset about, because the LAPD, in case you're not aware, from TV, from movies, or just from history, historically loves to whoop ass. That is their favorite thing. The LAPD can't stop whooping ass. They love, it's their number one. And so when the LAPD found out the National Guard was coming, I know they were probably like, but I didn't even get to. No, go ahead, send him. Yeah. No, you know what's best, send him in. No, you wanna do it. And then the National Guard comes, and there's not a ton for them to do, because it's like 2 square blocks. No matter how many times they keep showing you the same footage over and over and over again of these things burning, of this 3 stores that got looted. They show you the same thing over and over, but it's just not happening that way. And it's not that spread out. People are finding parking in Los Angeles. And so the National Guard gets there, and they're like, all right, yeah, that, okay. All right, so there's nothing to do, and you deployed us without making sure we had a place to sleep. So then they're all on the floor. They're sleeping on the concrete with nothing to do, and everybody's mad now because National Guard isn't getting paid what the LAPD is getting paid, so now the LAPD can't whoop ass. National Guard here for no reason. And then Trump is like, send the Marines then. I know if you're in the LAPD, you're like, the Marines? National Guard had to be like, the Marines? Even the Marines had to be like, the Marines? And then LAPD just sitting there like, I just want... Is whooping a little ass too much to ask? But I know that it's very, very, very important to understand what's reality and what's TV, and not to confuse the two. And the way to combat reality TV being everywhere all the time is real connection with real people. I was able to call people or text people who were in LA that told me, no, I mean, there was parking at Trader Joe's. Everything actually pretty chill. And without that, I might honestly be like, I don't know, y'all. There were 3 Waymos on fire. I took it as a lesson. And I would hope that more people see the things that were happening in LA and make sure that outside of any news outlet you follow, outside of like any narrative that you make the choice to believe, because there are so many varying narratives for every event that you do have to make choices, that above all of those things, you will talk to people. Because talking to people is the real perspective that you need. When you talk to someone who's really going through the thing, no matter what it is, no matter what it is, even bigger than LA, even bigger than the protests, when you talk to someone, you finally get from their perspective right to the root of an issue, as opposed to whoever's talking over them. Oh, and I think that for me, talking to my friends, making sure that they were safe, let me know that this thing was not what it was being made out to be. Don't get me wrong. I think that something was starting in LA, and I think that thing is scary. I think that there's a push to make authoritarian moves and to see how far things can be bent and how much people can be pushed and pulled before they'll do anything about it. And I think that LA was a perfect test for that. Let's take something that's really just 2 blocks and let's make it look like it's the entire city, and we'll see if they believe us. Let's send in all the cops we have, then the National Guard, then the Marines, and see how much people want that, if they go for it or not. So something is happening, and I would encourage every single one of you to hold on to everyone that you know. DC is one of those places where everybody is from everywhere and everyone knows everyone everywhere else. And if you keep that type of global community together, you'll have no problem, in my opinion at least, distinguishing what's happening from what's not. Because you'll have people that you can talk to, people that are really going through the thing in real time. I'm not saying don't watch the news at all. Sometimes they have newscasters on there who they put in the hurricane. It's very entertaining. Yo, DC, y'all been fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
When I